What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this multi-time frame forecast. We're going to be going over Euro and Z. Now, for this particular pair, we actually had set it up as such in the past, and it actually hit a stop loss for us previously. And just good example for us to be a little bit more mindful on areas of structure so that we can be a little bit more patient and wait for structure to give us a better confirmation rather than just as any confirmation, settling for any simple confirmation. So what I mean by that is structure on is giving a strong confirmation, and we're not relying specifically on environmental cues. So for this particular setup right now, it's still a valid setup because as you can see, if we go to this monthly time frame, we're still well in the bounds of this ascending trend line, initiated, tested, and right now we're in the process of potentially confirming it. So it's still an area of structure that is worth watching, and that's why we're going to be respecting it still. And in addition to that, we do have this harmonics pattern on the weekly time frame that is still being validated as well. So if we go down to the daily, we can start looking to see if there's any type of pattern formations that would indicate whether or not it would be looking to reverse from here. One of the downsides of using multi-time frame analysis is sometimes the instruments don't align with where they were at previously. So don't be too concerned about this descending or this ascending trend line. Let's just focus primarily on the structure for this particular uh, pair at the moment. So as you can see, we still have a lot of downward momentum occurring right here. And remember, if we want to take information on the current leg, we need to take information on the previous leg. So unfortunately, we don't necessarily have a very easy leg to identify. But what we can do is use the previous leg here to get information on this leg, and we can see that the previous leg is indicating that the 127 extension is aligning really well with where this resistance or potential support is at. So let's go back up to the weekly and just show you guys that right here. So you can see it aligns with this trend line, which also aligns with this um, area, this 127 fib area. So it'd be a good point for us to actually write down for us as well. So let's take this 127 percent fib, and then we'll do that on the daily time frame, and then we'll do monthly trend line. And then lastly, we're going to do this harmonics. This is weekly. So you can see we have three pieces of really solid pieces of evidence, pieces of confluence that are leading us to indicate that this is a extremely valid setup. And right now what we're waiting on specifically is just structure to give us the indication that it is actually ready to reverse so we can start looking for some buying opportunities. So on the daily time frame, you can see we still have a lot of bearish momentum continuing to push this trade downward. And on the 4-hour time frame, we can blow it up and see if there's anything interesting happening here. And let's actually hide this for a second so we can navigate a little bit easier. And as you can see, this 127 fib is actually giving us a good support area to monitor at the moment on this 4-hour time frame. So between the wicks and the closing, we can see that we are initiating, testing, and confirming. So right now, we're probably going to test it once more. And if we can continue to trade above this area of structure right here, and we can respect this area of structure as support, we have a higher probability of it moving upward and reversing from here. So what we would like to see is something like this area of structure being broken on the upside, testing, coming up, testing again, and then maybe we can come down and look for an entry point from here. But what we really do need to see is a break of structure at this 170 zone. And obviously the 4-hour environment needs to indicate that we are also in a position where we're ready to make a reversal as well. So remember, we created the script for you guys so you guys can use it, overlay yourselves. And this is based on our entry conditions, but it's still a great indicator for you guys to determine the environment of the price and the chart itself. So you can see we're in a bearish environment. We got the EMAs and structure indicating that we're still making uh, a push downward. So once the EMAs cross over and this background changes green, that means the environment is bullish and we can start actually looking for some trade setups and entry points from that moment moving forward. Until then, we're just going to be waiting for price to give us an indication that it's actually ready to move. Until then, we're just going to leave it up from here. We should get some type of confirmation over the next couple of hours, if not up until mid or late this week as well. So if we do that, we want to keep in mind this area of structure right here. That could be a potential area of resistance for us. But like we had said before, this is a 127 fib, a trend line, a 127 fib of the daily, a trend line, and also a harmonics pattern as well. And I just want to see something myself real quick, just to test it out, just out of curiosity. It doesn't align. I was just thinking if the previous leg would actually give us the same thing here. But we can see that 161 isn't aligning. But if we did have like the 178, it probably 178 or the 188, it probably would align on this extension as well. So this is EURNZD. If you guys are taking along the pips with us, feel free to like this idea, comment down a pair that you want us to cover in a future video. And last week was a little bit rough for us. We were actually eating into a lot of the profits we had accumulated over the last month, but we had still been up collectively 5,000 pips from the previous month, and we're pretty much at a break even this point for this month of November. That being said, if you guys are curious or have any other questions on how to analyze charts and gain some pips as well, feel free to message us privately. We'd be more than happy to assist you. See you guys in the next video.